Hey, good morning, everyone. Shades here. It's Sunday, the 8th of February, 2026. I wanted to do this video this morning from the trail, but here in the Northern Virginia area, it's just around 10 degrees, and we've still got about 8 inches of snow and ice on the ground. So we'll have to do this video indoors. So today's video is on the pack that I'm going to be carrying for my 2026 Pacific Crest Trail hike. As you saw in my initial video that showed my big three, this is the Durston Kakwa 55 backpack. So if you go on to Durston's website right now, this is the latest model. This is the 2026 version. I believe this is the third or fourth version of this backpack. Each one of the versions, they've made some huge improvements. They're listening to all the comments that we're providing, and they're making some really good improvements as they go along. So I'll talk about a few things in this one, but just the particulars. This is the altered grid material. It comes in right around 31 ounces, so under 2 pounds, right around 900 grams. The Durston Kakwa 55, this is the sage green color. This right now you can get on the Durston website for $199. This is a premium ultralight multi-day pack. It's designed from the first principles of load carrying and ergonomics to provide the greatest function, comfort, and usability for an ultralight pack. I'm going to talk about the load carrying and the ergonomics as I go through this video. My plan is to load this pack out. I've got about 95% of the gear that I'm going to be carrying. So I'll load this out and show my base weight, and then I'm going to load it up too with the initial water that I'm going to be trying to carry to get that weight in the initial food. So you'll see basically what I'm going to actually be starting the pack with in early April. So there's two different types of material that Durston is offering right now on the Kakwa 55. This is the Alter Grid. So this material is a nylon base pack fabric that is very durable, and it is waterproof with a PU coating. The unique things about this pack is it has a hollow U-shaped aluminum frame. So on the top and then on the bottom. So this is a reverse U. So going across the top and then going down the bottom. So both horizontal and vertical. This aluminum pack really provides a lot of structure, a lot of support in the pack. Not many ultralight packs, and in fact, very, very few ultralight packs that come in under 2 pounds offer that type of a framing. So you're going to have the structure instead of just everything thrown into just a sack. So really like that a lot. So the other thing is that is very uncommon that you'll find on this pack is it has load lifters. So on your shoulder straps there are load lifters to be able to adjust your load. So that's very uncommon. So and that's often omitted on lightweight packs. So anything you can do to be able to shave off a couple grams here and get the weight down, a lot of those lightweight packs will do. But Durston has kept the load lifters on, and I'll show you as I put this on. But it's really a key component to the exceptional load carrying ability, and you'll see that. What I really like about this pack a lot, I've worn it a few times now. What I really like is that the hip belt really, so it's a one-piece hip belt, and when I put this on, all of the load is right on my hips. So a lot of times you'll see a lot of packs. In fact, my old Osprey pack, I felt like the majority of the weight was on my shoulders. I mean, no matter how much I adjusted, the belt, I felt like a lot of the weight was on my shoulders, and that wears you out. But not with this pack. So with this Durston Kakwa 55, I feel like the majority of the weight, if not all the weight, is resting comfortably on my hip. So once I pack this out, I'll show you that. So so those are two of the things. So that new model, this is all one piece. So this whole hip belt is all just one piece now. Before, this was multiple pieces. This has got a good, nice padding on the hip belt. You'll notice that there's two really big pockets, and I'll show you these pockets more in depth. And just, if you can see the way the material is done, so it's all double stitched, and then around all of the zipper points, it's really reinforced with a heavy, durable, strengthening tape, so the actual zippers aren't exposed. So that helps with the waterproofing of this. So really nice. When I put this pack on, I'll actually show you a little bit more, but just the ease too. So just with one hand, I'm able to open, each one of the zipper compartments. So I think that's great, and I'll show you. But there's ample room here in each one of these hip belt pockets to where you could put your phone, you could put all of your stuff like bug net, you could put a battery pack in here, you could put your snacks in here. I mean, a lot of room. And so you got two of those here in the front. And also on this hip belt, you'll notice, and I'll show you this more when I actually put it on, I really like the actual adjusting straps that you have on here. So most of these packs that you'll see, in fact, on my Osprey, you've got one cord, you've got one strap that you're kind of tightening and pulling. On this one, you're pulling from both directions. You're pulling from both sides, so you're getting an even adjustment. I'll show you that when I go to put this on. The other thing that I really like about the Durston Kakwa 55, you've got a special insert pocket here to be able to, you could put all your paperwork in here, maybe your paper maps, very easy. And part of that ergonomics is very easy. As you're walking, you can get to all of these pockets very easily. And I'll show you that as well when I load this out and put it on. But this here, again, just one hand, I'm able to open and close these zipper compartments without an issue. I mean, just very smooth. And I could reach in here, and I could put snacks in here, anything I needed to put in here. And it's a large area. You can see all the way my hand, all the way up to my wrist and everything. Got plenty of room to go in here. And then on the shoulder harnesses, you've got these two built-in carrying pouches. So for water, for your glasses, for your phone, maybe for some snacks, there's a number of things that you could put in here. I also like to keep in my hip pockets, I like to keep my headlamp, like to maybe keep my sunglasses in there, stuff like that. Then what you'll notice, and I'll show you this a little bit more, on the sides, you've got two pockets on the sides. So you'll notice one pocket, this pocket on this left-hand side is much higher. So it's a good probably 2 or 3 inches higher. So to me, this is a perfect ergonomic situation where you can reach back and grab each one. And this one's even lower. So here again, if you wanted to put your water bottles in this one, you could easily reach back, and because you've got this lower cut, you could easily reach back and grab these water bottles. So here again, depending on how flexible you are and where you want to put it, each one of these side pockets, and I'll show you that, will carry 2 1-liter bottles. So without a problem at all, 2 1-liter smart bottles. I'll show you that. It's a roll top. It's a roll top pack. I'll show you that as I do the rolling on it. And as we turn the pack to the other side, you'll see it's got a large webbing area. So this is all a polyester nylon type material, and it can be adjusted. But there's a lot of room in here to where you could put your rain gear in here. You could put your your poop kit in here, whatever your materials, whatever you wanted to carry, first aid. I mean, there's a lot of room in here you could put in here. And then there's all kinds of attachment points to where you can hang stuff on the sides as well. And you've got a lot of cordage where you could do that. This came with the, I've also got the Y strap on top here to be able to put my my bear canister. So I've got that. Just so many things that I like about this pack. I really like the color. This is the sage green. Just looking at this pack, when I look at this pack and I look at other ones, just the attention to detail that they've put in this pack. If you look at the stitching, if you look at all of the different points that could be a potential problem on other packs, to where you could have rub, where you could have damage, where you could just have an issue, they've looked at that. I like how they folded over all the material and really protected it, and then how they use the seam tape on all of the zipper areas and all of the pockets. I really like that a lot. So very comfortable. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to try to load this out for you and let you see where I'm at, and I'll even weigh the pack. So I'm weighing the pack right now, and it comes in at 1 pound 92, so 1.92 pounds. So that's basically empty, but it's under 2 pounds. So 1.92 is how it's being weighed right now with my digital weight tool. Okay, so when I load out my pack, I like to think about what are the items that I'm going to need first, and what are the items I'm going to need last when I actually get to camp. Whether I'm going to break out my tent or maybe cowboy camp, I want to be able to get everything set up in my pack to be as easy as possible to be able to set up when I get there, because sometimes you get there late at night, sometimes you get there and you're exhausted. You just kind of want to set up and get everything ready, then maybe get some dinner, maybe socialize a little bit, then maybe get ready for bed. But so I'm going to show you how I pack. I'm not going to use a contractor bag and then do any type of additional waterproofing for this. I believe in the research I've done and everything I've learned about this pack. I think I'm good. Also, you're going to notice that I use a lot of stuff sacks, and I know a lot of people say, hey, you're wasting your time. That's just a lot of extra work. It's a lot of extra weight. You can shave off some grams here and there. I'm not worried about that. This is what I'm really worried about is I want to be organized. Kind of my entire life, 50 years in the military and the government, I've tried to keep everything organized. So that's going to help me kind of keep focused and make sure I'm not losing gear by keeping everything individually packed. And also I want to be able to keep my quilt as dry as possible. So I showed you in the first video, this is the Enlightened Equipment Revolution 10-degree bag. So this is really the last thing that I need when I get to the campground to set up, but it's the first thing that actually goes into my pack. So the very first thing that I put at the very bottom of my pack is my quilt. So, and what I also like about doing this is it helps give your pack a good ride. So it helps put, you know, this down at the bottom of the pack and give you a real good base for when you do this. So you can do this a number of ways. You could put this straight up and down. You could kind of put it on the side if you want. But right now my focus is to get it in place, to get it to where it gives me a good base. The other thing that you'll notice about the Kakwa 55 is that it starts off down here kind of as a straight cylindrical or barrel, and then you'll notice that it widens as it goes up. So that's going to be perfect for the bear canister that we'll have to use when we get into those areas in the Sierras, and when we get to those areas where we have to have a bare canister. So I think that'll be really good. So that's what I put in first, is I put the quilt in first, and then the other items that that I think I'm going to need probably before I get to the quilt is that I need to have my my air mattress. So this is the Thermarest Neo Air lightweight pad. So this is going to go in on top of my quilt. So now I've got that in. The other thing that I want to have, and I want to be able to have readily access to, and to be able to get to it fairly quickly, and that's my excess clothes. So depending on, and I've got my rain jacket in here. So as I'm planning for the day, if it looks like it's going to be rain, I'll take my rain jacket out of here, and I'll put it in the actual webbing so it's easy to get to, and I don't even have to go into my pack. Same thing as if it's cold. Also inside here is I've got my puffy. I'm only bringing one change of clothes, so I've got one long pair of pants, hiking pants, and then one short pair of hiking pants. I'll be wearing this shirt, and then I've got a short sleeve shirt that I might use as well. I've got one long sleeve night shirt. I typically sleep warm, so I'm not going to bring long pants and sleep pants and long top. If I have to change, if I have to add to that, I can do that. But I think my early start in April and then going through the desert, I think I'm going to be hotter than I'm going to be cold. Here again, I got a 10-degree quilt. That's just going to lay on top of me, and I can kind of move that around as I need to. But my next item, so I've got my quilt, and then I've got my air mattress, and then my clothes is going to go in next. So I've got this to where I've got this set up to where this is going to go side by side and going to fit nicely inside the pack. What I'll do is I'll try to get as much of the air out as I can on these. Pack this down as good as I can. Okay, so that's all right. So that's perfect. I like the way that fits. And here again, you can adjust as you need to. There are adjustments on this side, so you can let this pack out a little tiny bit if you need to. Okay, so far I've got my quilt, I've got the air mattress, and I got my clothes. Still got a lot of room here. So the next item that I want to put in here is I want to put my tent. So I've got a ground sheet, and then I've got the Durston X-Mid 2 solid tent that I'm going to put in here. I'm going to take the ground sheet and I'm going to put that on top. So X-Mid's going to go down, and then I've got the ground sheet, and the ground sheet's going to slide in. I'm going to slide this in and fill any of the holes that I need to fill in. You'll notice that I'm not bringing a cook kit. So through the desert section, my plan is not to have a cook kit. I can buy one and add to it if I need to, but I really don't like the meals and all that prep phase. So I'll do another video that talks about how I'm going to do the food. And in this bag, this is my food bag. And I'll be able to adjust this as I need to. And again, this is a roll top. This is a roll top bag. So I've got everything neatly in here, and I know as I make some adjustments, I'll be able to even get this better, but I've still got room at the top of this pack. to be able to do more. So on the outside, and I've got a poncho, so this is going to go into this one small, or not this one pouch on the outside. My bathroom kit is going to go in this side, this front pocket. So here again, in this mesh pocket in the front, I've got a poncho just in case I've got some weather. This will even help me for some wind, but I've got a poncho here, I've got that. And I'm also gonna put in my water kit. So I've got my bathroom kit, I've got my water kit, I've got my poncho. So all of this is sitting nicely in here. And I've also got my stakes. So I'm gonna leave my stakes on the outside. I don't want to leave those inside. I want to have those outside. I'll play with that a little bit. And I got my medical kit. So I'm paring down my medical kit, but I can also put my medical kit in here. So if I had to stop on the trail, if I had to get something pretty quickly, I've got everything that I would use that I don't need inside my pack, with the exception of food, and I'll be carrying some food. I've got a hip belt, a separate like fanny pack that I'll be carrying some food in. So basically, this is the pack out of my tent. I'm sorry, the pack out of the Kakwa 55, my pack that I'm going to be bringing. I don't know why it says tent. The other thing that I'm going to be using is I'm going to bring this the Z-Rest, this foam matting. This will help. This will be for sitting. I can also put this down. I'll also put this down before I put my air mattress in. And this is actually going to go on the top. So part of that Z or that V, I've got enough room to be able to secure this easily on the top. I'll show you that here in 1 second. And there's a lot of adjustment on here. So for a bare canister, for anything that you need, there's a lot of adjustment. Okay, so here's the finished product. So I've got my foam mattress on top. This is going to be I'll be able to use this if I'm going to take a break and sit down. I'll be able to throw this down. Won't even have to go inside the pack. I've got in the back here, I've got if I have to do some work with blisters and stuff like that, I've got stuff like that in my first aid kit. If I need to filter water, if I need to use the bathroom, I've got everything that I need on the sides, and I won't even have to go into that. So pretty simple, pretty easy. So this is what I'm going to start off on the trail carrying. Now this isn't my base weight because I've got my food inside there, but I just want to show you weight wise where I'm at. I'll subtract the food weight because I know how much my food bag weighs, but okay, this is just under 21 pounds, and it's got my food in it. So my food right now weighs just over 4 pounds. So 17 pounds roughly is where I'm at when I subtract the food. So now I want to show you also about the water. So I've got two 1 liter smart bottles, and then I've got the 700 milliliter bottle. So that I plan to have in my top pocket. So my shoulder harness pocket, I plan to put that in here. In here, maybe I'll put my sunglasses. And then on this side, where it's got the lower of the two cut pockets, I plan to put the two 1 liter bottle smart bottles. So here again, this is that lower cut side. That lower cut side is going to help me with the ergonomics of when I have this pack on, of keeping that, keeping that ability to be able to reach over and grab this as I'm hiking. So wouldn't even have to stop if I wanted to. So my plan is to start off at Campo when I leave the Cleef on the first week of April, but at the southern terminus, I plan to have one full 700 milliliter in my shoulder harness pocket, and then I plan to have two 1 liter bottles in my side pocket. Probably what my plan will be is that I want to take in as many electrolytes as I can as I'm on the trail. So I'll probably, after I get through in my second fill, I'll probably add 1 liter bottle or maybe the 700 liter. I'll have to play with that. That'll be electrolytes. I do not plan to use these 3 bottles to filter any water. So I've got a separate bag that is in my water kit with my Sawyer water filter. I've got a separate CNOC bag that I'll actually use as my dirty water bag, and I'll filter everything into my clean bottles. I don't want to have the risk of cross-contaminating that, so I'm going to try to keep that as clean as I can. And I've got an extra easy fill water thing. So let's go ahead and weigh this. So my base weight, I'm estimating somewhere right around that 17 to 18 pounds. And now I've got food and I've got water. So let's take a look and see what that weight is right now. And this will be pretty close. I've got a couple medical things that I've got to do. You saw from my first video, I have diabetes and I have sleep apnea. So there's some medical stuff that I'll be adding to this bag, and I'll show you that. Okay, so here now, this is going to be a fully loaded out pack. All right, so this is now fully loaded, and I'm at 26.25 pounds. 26.25 pounds. So a little heavier than I want to be. I wanted to be under 25, fully loaded with all the food and everything like that, but I'm going to be a little bit heavier than that. But I really like how this bag sits on my hips, vice how my other pack was on my shoulders. So I think the way this bag sits, and I'm going to put this bag on here in a minute and show you, I think that's going to be a big difference. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to adjust everything out. So the load lifters and the the hip belt, I'm going to totally put all the way out. So let's do the belt first. Let's do the hip belt first. So as I mentioned before, what I really like about this is it's got two draws on the hip belt, one on either side, and they pull straight out. Oh man, I can feel that. So all that weight is now right on my hips. And then it's got load lifters on either shoulder strap that you can tighten up, snug up as you need to. What I'm also going to be doing, and I'll show you this in another video, I'm going to be bringing a sleep apnea machine with a battery pack. That all comes in to just over 3.5 pounds, but that is going to have a solar pad that's going to sit on top of that. That's another reason why I'm bringing this. That solar is going to sit on top of here, and it's going to generate me some power. So a full battery is going to get me probably 3 or 4 days on the trail with my my CPAP machine, but I'm going to have the charging capability. So here I'm at, easily can get to this water. I'm going to take a hose, and I'm going to have a little hose in here, but a couple people in the video said this is going to be hitting me in the face. This is not hitting me in the face. I mentioned before about the ergonomics, so I can easily reach back here and grab the water. So if I needed to, I can get the water. This one with a higher cut might be a little harder, but I think as I lose a little bit of weight and I get a little bit more adjustability, I think I'll be able to get that. I showed you before how easy it is to get in these pockets. So this is one hand. I'm taking one hand and I'm getting in and out of the pocket. So if I need my night lamp, you know, my hiking lamp, I can easily get it out of this pocket. Very, very easy to get in and out of these pockets. I'm just doing this with one hand, and it slides very, very easy, open and shut. Sometimes that's a problem with my other pack. I got to sit there and hold on to it with two hands. The other thing I haven't actually put on yet is the cross strap. Okay, I plan to keep my probably my sunglasses up here in this pouch. This is it. This is the Kakwa 55. Very comfortable. I really like, I mean, right now I can tell you, I really like how the majority of this weight is right here on my hips. I don't feel it on my shoulders. I don't feel it on my chest. I mean, this is carrying the load, these load lifters, pulling it in, and then how this belt is adjusted on my hips, carrying that weight right on my hips. Here again, easy to get to everything, easy to get out of the pockets. Okay, again, this is the Durston Kakwa 55 backpack. Comes in at just under 2 pounds. It's a 55 liter. I'm packed out. I mean, I've got in here my tent, my quilt, air mattress, clothes, food, and I've still got room. I've probably got enough room to throw another bag. and that other bag is going to have my sleep apnea machine, my CPAP. So I hope this video has been very helpful, maybe hopefully informative for you. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I would love to see some comments. Look forward to being out there on the trail again, early April. Hope to see a lot of you out there. Okay, this is Shades. Thanks. Out.